Hey there, it's Brian J. Hatcher with 3 things that you can start doing today that will turbocharge your creative engine. Welcome to iDay Friday. Remember, stand out, subscribe. If you want to become an artist, either as a hobby or a profession, if you want to add creativity to your work, to your play, to your life, then subscribe to this channel and share it with others. It helps the channel, and it allows us to put out more content and more videos for you. Also, ring the little bell below this video. It'll allow you to be notified when we put up new content. And so, let's get to it. Hey there, standouts. Brian J. Hatcher with 3 things that you can start doing today that will turbocharge your creative engine. Number 1, read. Read what? Read everything. Read fiction. Read nonfiction, read literature, read poetry, read biographies, read science, read history, read things that you're interested in, read things that you have no interest in. Reading books becomes fuel for your creative mind. Steve Jobs said that creativity is not coming up with brand new things, but taking things that already exist and drawing connections between them that no one else ever has. And that is why reading is so important. And hey, if you want to learn how to be creative, read books about creativity. Books like The Playful Brain, The Surprising Science of How Puzzles Improve the Mind by Dr. Richard Resnick. I just got this one today. Number 2, maybe you should keep a notebook or a journal. Or maybe you shouldn't. Yeah, well, that's specific. One of my mentors in magic and one of my heroes, Jeff McBride, talks about the importance of keeping a notebook. He'll write down ideas that he gets for effects, things that he wants to do in his show, dreams that he has that inspire him to come up with something new. And keeping a notebook does sound like a really good idea. However, another hero of mine, writer Stephen King, advises to never keep a notebook. He says that notebooks are just pools of the flotsam and jetsam that gather in your mind. That if you write all these ideas down, then you just are flooded with all these really bad ideas that you have. So, which one's right? Well, Jeff McBride's right when it comes to the way that Jeff McBride's mind works. And Stephen King is right when it comes to the way Stephen King's mind works. And so, whether you should keep a journal or not depends on how your mind works. If you're the type of person who likes to organize, then journals are a great way of organizing your thoughts. If you're more of the freewheeling type, like writers who don't like to outline but would rather just write from the seat of their pants, or pantsers as they call them, then journaling for you would be a nightmare. So I guess the takeaway for all this is that there's a lot of good common sense advice, or so-called common sense advice, that you might learn in creativity, but figure out what works best for you. If you hear something and it sounds like it might be for you, give it a try. If you've never journaled before, try keeping a journal. See if that works for you. Now give it enough time to see if it actually does work for you. And if it does, great. But if you find that it doesn't, don't feel like you failed. It may just not be the way that your mind works. Number 3, make creativity a habit. If you want to take advantage of the natural plasticity of the human brain, if you want to build those neurons which will allow you to be more and more creative, then creativity can't be just in a once in a while kind of thing. Now, we all know that the way to health is a good diet and regular exercise. Okay, so imagine somebody who wakes up early in the morning, they have a healthy breakfast, and then they drive to the gym, and then for 6 hours they push themselves to the limit, and then they take a break for a while, they have a healthy lunch, and then they go back to the gym for another 6 hours, and they push themselves to almost passing out where they think they're going to throw up, and then they go home and they have a light, healthy dinner. Now, you would imagine that somebody with that kind of a schedule would not only be healthy, but they would just be ripped. But if that person only had that day of exercise and healthy eating once every other month, and the rest of that time they never once stepped foot in a gym, and their diets consisted of junk food and hot dogs and french fries and sodas, well, it would be like that day of exercise and healthy eating never happened. Now imagine somebody who exercises maybe an hour, and they do try to eat healthy, although every once in a while they do slip up, as we all do. But they do it 4 times a week. So between those two, who do you think is going to be in the best shape? If you only occasionally try to be creative, those moments when you desperately need an idea, how good do you really think you're going to be at coming up with one? Try to make creativity a part of your normal daily life. If you're a writer, try to come up with a story idea every day. Hey, if you're going to try a journal, there's something good to put in it. If you draw, carry a sketchbook and doodle. If you're a musician, pick up your instrument every day and just play around with it. And don't be so worried if it's good or not. It doesn't matter if it is. What you're doing is making creativity a habit. You're building those creative neurons. You're causing your creative engine to rev. And hey, let's face it, nobody's ever impressed anyone in a gym when they first started out. Also, you can turn creativity into a game. Literally. There are so many board games and tabletop games out there that are not only fun, but will also help you to develop your creativity. Games like Dixit, or Pandemic, or Fiasco, or a dozen others that are out there. So, break out one of these board games, invite your creative coterie over, and have a fun evening of stretching your creative muscles. Well, now I have a question for you. Is there something that you do that helps rev your creative engine? If you do, share it in the comments section down below. Again, thank you for watching this video, and a special thank you to the new subscribers to this channel. I'm really happy that these videos have been a help to you, and I'm really excited about the new content that I'm going to be sharing with you very soon. And if you're new to this channel, click the subscribe button that's right here, and check out one of my other videos right here. And so, until next time, this is Brian J. Hatcher reminding you to keep dreaming with your eyes open.